These are people who live very solitary, very private lives. And I was going into that world. You know, I woke up one day and I thought, photograph this. Document what you see. I mean, this is a whole hidden world. These people live like hermits. They're completely isolated. Nobody knows they're there.
So we're going to start with grade 2.5, because that's what you printed the last time.
I kept seeing, you know, situation after situation that really upset me. And I saw my patients suffering needlessly. How do you even begin to deal with that? I'm a very busy, committed physician, and I'm also very passionate about photography. And so I started to photograph.
I'd rather do more than I'm doing now. I fill in the days one way or another, but I don't do what I used to do.
Connie was living independently in the community in a bachelor apartment and managed to take care of herself and Oscar with really minimal support. Oscar is a constant companion. And without Oscar in her life, the focus of her life has been, you know, taken away from her. You know, a month and a half ago, she fell and she broke her arm. No home care, no help. So she had to be placed in a retirement residence temporarily. It was not a facility she could afford. Connie's 93. So here's this frail old lady with heart disease who's partly blind, and we can't get help for her in the community.
I'm not much use to anybody now, but the day was when I was more useful to the church and to the activities and so on. But I've done the best that I could do, and as long as I could do.
How are you doing?
I don't know.
Hi. How are things today?
Not too bad.
You recognize me? It's
Not yet.
Dr. Novichinsky.
Oh,
Hi.
good, good.
I'm just going to check your blood pressure. Very good. Just want you to lift up your chin. Just lift up your chin. Good. Good. Well, your heart seems to be behaving.
Right now,
Yeah.
I want to go home
Yeah. Why do you want to go home?
because I want to go and get Oscar.
We're going to try to get home care arranged so that you can go home to Oscar instead of going to a nursing home without Oscar. Because I know how important it is for you to live with Oscar.
Yeah.
If you don't have extra help, you won't be able to manage at home.
No, but I could do as much as I can do. And then get somebody in the building, that would do that.
Now, you remember, what's the most important thing that you have to accept in order to get home care?
I don't know. Money.
Well, the government will supply home care if you need help with a bath.
With a bath.
Yeah. The government will pay for it if you accept help with certain things.
I see.
Do you remember what the most important thing is that you need to accept help for?
Dishes.
No, that they'll help you with, but
I can wash the dishes gradually.
they'll give you help with
Dishes.
groceries and
Yeah.
cleaning and laundry and,
Yeah.
and cleaning up and all of that, only if you also need help with
I don't know.
bathing.
Oh, babe.
Because the rules are you won't be eligible for home care unless you need help with all those things plus a bath.
A bath. If I have to take a bath with somebody there with me, can I get into my bathing suit?
Well, I'm not sure that you can really have a bath with a bathing suit on, but,
No.
but maybe they can sort of help you with a shower bath, right?
Yeah.
You know, you sit down.
I guess you get put up with it.
So what's the most important thing you need to accept in order to get home care?
Excuse me. I was going to say with a kick in the pants. Not quite.
Now you need to tell them you need help with a bath.
With a bath.
You need some help with bathing.
I'm not cutting you off from being my doctor, are you?
Not at all.
If I'm in the same apartment building there, it's handy, isn't it?
That's right. You're very close to my office, actually. So what's the most important thing you need help with?
A bath.
That's right. If you accept help with a bath,
Well, last
they'll give
night,
you home care.
last night I bathed myself.
Yeah, but you don't tell the home care coordinator that you can bathe yourself. You tell them you need help with a bath. We'll all tell them you need help with a bath.
Yeah, you tell them.
You can't contradict that.
No. Who in the wide world would want to see a bunch of pictures like this for me, of me? Junk.
I'm a physician, I'm a healer, and I see this population of people that has slipped through the cracks, and I do what I can to help them. But I feel a great injustice exists that's not being addressed. These people have simply been forgotten, and when you have no voice, you don't exist. I think the photographs give them a voice and bring attention to their hidden plight and stimulate change. The photographs will open doors, will open people's eyes, and will hopefully open people's hearts.
I was a workaholic, actually. That was my trouble. I'd come home from work and I'd go out all night and work all night. And go back to work and then the next day. I used to have a dog, but I can't walk a dog now. I got what they call cowboy leg. You ever seen cowboy leg? Well, this is what the doctors told me that come here for the arthritis. You see what I mean? It's bowed and it's getting worse. See there when it's together, the difference in them. Then this other foot starting to go the other way, the bones, I guess. I can't get on a bus, I can't get on a streetcar, because I can't push up with that leg.
Joe's 86. And when I first met him, he was going to a walk-in clinic for his medical care where they'd see him for perhaps 30 seconds. And really, he needed more than that.
Oh, you gotta get up. This is what kills me. This is the hard part. I should chop my fucking legs off. Ding dong.
Hi, Mr. Daniels.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I think the girl next door is nuts about me, the grandma.
Yeah?
You seen her, the little one? She's
No.
good looking. She's tiny.
Oh, okay.
I had lots of women coming here, you know. And,
Just don't get married.
oh, Christ, you think I'm crazy? Been all these bloody years now without. Better off without them.
Okay, big breaths in the neck. No swelling.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't see. Stomach pills. That's your heart medication. That's your other heart medication.
This little one here, what are they? They're the hellish,
That's for your heart.
the most hellish tasting things I ever tried.
Well,
They're
they're,
terrible.
they're very important for your heart.
Oh, this is for the, what's the name? Shakes.
The Parkinson's.
Parkinson's. Oh,
Right. And how many do you take a day?
well, what it says there.
Okay.
I make sure I take that.
And how many is that?
I think it's 3 a day, I think.
3 a day. Good. Have you thought at all about one of those electric scooters? Whenever I bring it up, you're very reluctant to accept a scooter. Would it bother you to go out in a scooter, or?
Well, I get so much to do around the house here. If I get a scooter, then I gotta hire some more help.
See, if you had a scooter,
Probably kill somebody.
I think that his reluctance to use a scooter has a lot to do with exposing his frailty to the people around him. Maybe he thinks he projects a certain strength, but by going down the street in a scooter, he's projecting that he's a frail old man, and he doesn't want to project that. So, Joe, we
Yeah.
want to take a shot of you standing next to the stove.
Next to the stove.
Yeah.
Just a minute, I gotta get up here first. Oh. Front of the stove, beside it, or what?
Beside it, yeah.
Beside
right, right like that. Just look at the lens. Don't look at the flash.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the reason I do house calls is if I didn't go and see these people, I don't think would be able to come and see me. And so they would not get any medical care. They simply would fall through the cracks. And they may or may not, an elderly woman gets pneumonia, she's lying in bed, coughing, short of breath, weak, and she may or may not call 911 and go to emergency. She may just sort of say, oh, I'll sleep it off, and she goes to sleep and dies.
I'm old-fashioned. I love everything that's beautiful, old things that are beautiful. I cannot get used to that modern stuff.
When I first met Ria, she was in her 70s, and now she's 90. And in that time, she's aged, and she's become frail.
I'm lucky. I've got a few more pennies left. I can pay all my bills. Once I cannot pay my bills, the house will be sold. When I'm asked about the house, I've already moved from upstairs from the bedroom. In the summertime, I sleep out there on the bed. This is a bed I sleep in the wintertime.
Her knees hurt, her coordination's failing her, and she fell down the stairs.
I put the light out too early on the side here, so I was in the dark. I think the door was open. I don't know how I started going down. I have no idea. I didn't know where I was. It was black all. So when I thought, well, what would Reg do? And that's how I helped myself to get up alone. Back up. I'm a stubborn mule. I've got to help myself now that I don't have my beloved man. I don't want a fuss made about me. I just don't want it. I don't want a big thing about it. And when you show it on the pictures, I don't want poor old Mrs. Reynolds, this, that, and the other. I wouldn't. That's why I feel I don't want it to be made a fuss of. Made it. Oh, this one.
She's a vivacious, strong-willed, obstinate character. She's a whole person.
Bill is an old family friend. And Bill takes me out to the bus and helps me when I walk. It's not the easiest, but I get there.
She would come to visit me in the office about once a month, and very often was accompanied by Bill.
And after the steps, I've got to go quite a bit to get up again for the bus. And that is too much for me. And it depends on the weather. And if the weather is not so good, then you have more pain.
What I've seen happen over and over again are people who decline physically and have more and more difficulty coming into the office. And if I wasn't able to see them at home, they would decline until there was a crisis, and they would present to the emergency department. And would be admitted to hospital and would be much sicker than they would have been had there been an earlier intervention.
Are we here?
So providing home care makes good fiscal sense. It's not only humane, but it's cost effective. And,
We'll go up to the table.
yeah, just have a seat up here.
All right.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
there we are. You comfortable?
No, my buttocks hurt.
Okay, I couldn't help but overhear Bill
Yeah, I
saying,
know.
tell him about the fall. So what
I
happened?
can't. What have I got to tell you?
Did you hit your head or did you land on your
This bit
bum?
is still. No, I believe I felt like this. I hurt my head here.
Okay. I think this is a very good reason for you to not venture out too much in the winter. If you slip and fall, you could break your hip.
You offered very
So I-
kindly to come and see me when I need you.
And you finally accepted. I've been offering for several years. And,
Well,
but I'm very glad
I'm
that
young.
you're accepting. I think it was a point of pride with her that, she could come to me. And by my going to her, it was an acceptance that she was frailer and less mobile than she thought she was. So, Mrs. Reno, I'd like to spend a few moments taking your picture
Yeah.
here in the examining room.
Yeah.
Because from now on, I'm going to come and see you at home.
okay.
So I wanted to get the last picture on this table.
The beauty, Mary.
So-
The beauty. I mean, even if you grow old and you are in pain, you don't have to be bitchy. You see, that's a bitchy face. What other word is there?
This is your mother, this is your aunt, your grandmother, and one day this will be you and I. You're not looking at an exotic species in another world. You're looking at your future. When Connie was in the retirement residence, I was trying to arrange home care services. I wanted her to go home because the only two options at that time were a nursing home without Oscar or going home with home care services. I realized home care just wouldn't work. She wouldn't accept the services. Somebody would show up at her door and say, "I'm here to give you a bath." And she would have said, "No thanks, goodbye, I don't need you." And they would have discontinued services, and she would have ended up in a nursing home. I have a relationship with Sprint, and Sprint is a community-based agency that provides supportive services for seniors to help them stay in the community. Sprint knows her. I mean, she's become the poster girl for home care. I think Sprint probably thought it would be a real shame if someone like her slipped through the cracks and got sucked into the nursing home gulag. Fortunately, a room became available at Ewart Angus. It's a very unique facility, and it's absolutely perfect for someone like Connie. They allow cats.
Floor 4.
I never thought that taking a picture could achieve so much, but it's very satisfying, immensely satisfying.
Come on in and make sure Oscar's here. Hi, sweetheart. Oh, you darling. Don't let him out.
Door's closed.
She jokingly calls Oscar her boyfriend, but Oscar really is the focus of all her attention. He's her social life, he's her companion.
Darling.
The other people in her life are much more peripheral.
Yes, I can there. In his chest.
If you take Oscar out of her life, it will shorten her life.
There, this is the baby. Gonna look after you.
Joe doesn't venture very far from his house. I mean, the outer limit of his world is his front porch. That's the edge of his world.
Last summer I had to walk down to the house down there. That's all I do, but that's only once in a while. I never do it in the winter though. Mark wants me to get one of these scooter things, you know, but I don't know.
Well, every time I go and visit Joe, he has a full pot of coffee on the stove. And whenever he makes coffee, he makes a full pot. You know, simple tasks, simple activities of daily living can be very difficult for elderly people to perform. And what seems like a very easy thing for you and I, it can be a real struggle. I don't think he drinks a pot of coffee a day. But I think he's always hoping that someone will drop in and sit and chew the fat and drink coffee with him.
Yes, it does.
And how's your appetite been?
Oh, lovely. I could eat the cat sometime.
That'd keep you going for a while.
The fat cat, I got a mood.
And are you sleeping okay?
Like a log.
Good.
I'm sleeping too much, I think.
Good.
What's he running on now?
120 over 70.
20
That's
over
pretty good.
7.
That's very good, actually. Same blood pressure you had when you went into the Navy.
Yeah. Beginning of the war, I joined the Navy. I was on the sub chasers and I was on the big barges taking the troops into the beaches. Normandy was a bloody mess. Like when I got back to Halifax, that was our main port. I was they stuck us in the barracks and they were taking the guys out that were injured and that, you know. And he told me I had shell shock. That's what they told me. I was shaking bad, you know, and I walked the street for about a month or two after. Just walk. I couldn't sleep.
He worked very hard his whole life. He started a small transportation and trucking business. Joe's not a poor man. He invested wisely over the years and bought property, and now in his old age he has considerable assets. But he doesn't have the mindset to turn those assets into helping himself.
I don't care the outside anymore. I don't know anybody today except the people next door to me, and I don't see them often now. Yes, it hurts. It hurts when you're left alone. Well, anyhow, Christmas is here. It isn't up here. It's in your heart. Love thy neighbor. That's my Christmas. Always has been, always will be. Anyhow, for me, it isn't Christmas. It's with legs like these and in pain terribly. That's it. I pray my little prayer, and that's think of better days. I was never a beautiful young woman. I was a young woman. I hope I was good looking and to be able to be on the stage. I wouldn't have done anything else in my life. And I loved every bit of it. But when I had my knees suddenly went, I couldn't dance. And you can't have a soubrette without a dance. A soubrette dances and she sings and she's happy and she's in love. And that's the first couple on the Austrian or German or any European stage will start. A young couple. That's not in soubrette. That's operettas. Not operas, but operettas. A soubrette comes onto the stage. I can show it to you. You come out nice, beautiful little. You've seen some of the clothes that I wore, right? And you come out and you, oh no, I can't. And you do this. You curtsy. You know how the Europeans curtsy. That's what you do, like that. And you start to sing. And you start to laugh, and you start to love, and the world is yours. That's what you start. And that's what you do when you're a little soubrette. I was a little soubrette.
Okay, come. Put it on. This?
Yeah, you got
Is
it.
that,
Yeah.
that okay?
Yes, that's
And,
great.
and okay?
Yes,
let
it is
go.
okay. Yes, let it go.
I was a friend with this gentleman. He'd bring me home from church a few times, and my mother said, don't bring him here again. So I didn't, and he went and married a friend of mine. It was too bad because he was a nice young man. That's the way life goes. What do I think about Christmas? Quietness, doing nothing. Oscar? A lot of my joy now is my boyfriend over there, because he's good company. We'll just be together and we can listen to the TV programs. There's some that are on Christmas time. So I won't be going out. I stay pretty close to him most of the time, as much as I can. He's my buddy.
What are you gonna do with these pictures and make it a scrapbook and call it The Living Dead? Hello? Hello? Ah, goddamn asshole. I'm bloody phone call. Phone shoved up their ass. Is that what it is, Christmas? Could have fooled me. I didn't give a shit if it was Christmas or whatever. Christmas never bothered me. Nor New Year's. I never feel lonely. I worked by myself all the time for years. I was in an engine room on board the ship all by myself for 5 years. And I always find something to do. The greatest thing I think that's been invented lately is a bloody television. No, why would I feel lonely? I mean, I got the television, I got a cat here to talk to, get mad at if I have to.
Carolyn Dunn is following the story in Ottawa. Carolyn, I understand this was something like a 400-page ruling or decision. Tell us a little more about it, if you would.
Well, it wasn't a unanimous ruling. It was split decision.
When I came to Toronto, I played in a church out west the last year or two that I was out there. Then when I came to Toronto, I took lessons at the Conservatory of Music. And I did that until I got my degree. There's my boyfriend. I just worry about if I'm going to be around long enough for him. There. As long as I'm with you, it's okay. Yeah. Because you're a good boy.
Just wanted to check how things were going.
Oh, she's doing just fine. I was in there this morning with her and Oscar, and we had our little chit chat, and things are going just fine. She was out playing piano a little bit earlier, and she was part of church services the other day, and she's doing just fine.
Has there been any hint of her eating any of the cat food anymore? Or has that issue resolved itself?
I think it's pretty much resolved itself. We haven't smelt it on her breath lately, and the cat's only down to 2 cans of food now a day instead of 4. So I think it's definitely been resolved, and she seems happy with having 2 cans, which is really good. And yeah.
Before I met Connie, she slipped and fell and broke her hip. And like many elderly people, when the winter comes, they are petrified of slipping, falling, and breaking a limb that could cost them their independence. A broken hip is very often a one-way ticket into institutional care. So Connie would stock up for the winter. And maybe to conserve food or because she ran out of other food, she would be forced to share Oscar's cat food.
I can't eat what I used to love. I used to love a sandwich. I was never a big eater, but it's just the pain is so terrible.
We were talking last time about the swallowing difficulty.
Oh, thank goodness for that.
So I brought the referral form because I could send you to a specialist, a gastroenterologist, to assess your swallowing
what worries me really and truly is that stomach and this. That's what worries me. That I cannot be anymore what I used to be. And when the pain comes, it's terrible. And I would like to, if there's a doctor in this world who can tell me why, because they're shouting it out, is exercise, exercise. I've exercised all my years, and they're long years. So why would I get it? That's what I want to know.
Well, there's wear and tear in the knee.
But I've now I've got
It's a problem that comes with high mileage.
the old things were much better than the new ones today. Now, be honest. It's not because we've grown old. I beg your pardon, I should say we. I have grown old. It's not because
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Yeah, I know. But it's...
I'm half your age.
Uh-huh. Oh, shit.
Exactly half your age.
Baby.
It was the first night I ever went to bed early for months. I was going to go to bed and I was standing right above where that arm is. I was standing there. I was taking my sweater off, the sweater like this. I was standing here and I taken it off and I was going to sit down and take my trousers off and I fell. And I don't know how I fell. I didn't go unconscious or anything, but I fell under here and these legs, I was wedged, my head's big enough, I guess, to wedge in there. And I lay under that bloody bed all night and all day. I couldn't get up. When kids are playing with these little windmills, you know, they have, that's exactly what it's like, only each wedge was a different color. But they start to spin and the whole fucking wall's going around. And you lose control.
Joe was very lucky. A friend of his was able to break through the window and rescue him. And Joe blames the whole thing on his pills. And so he stopped taking most of them. Okay. So we had to renegotiate the dosing to something that he was willing to take. So what I would suggest is you take one tablet 4 times a day.
4 times.
4 times a day.
Yeah. Well, another way we had it was all these going at once. My stomach, every time I took it, yeah, okay.
So take that 4 times a day, 1 tablet 4 times a day.
Yeah.
And for the anti-inflammatory,
yeah,
take 1 twice a day.
I got a new cook, did I tell you?
No.
Well, you know the grandmother next door, the good-looking little one.
Okay.
Well, she's living here now.
Oh, really?
Moved in, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because just as well, because she's a good cook and everything.
Okay.
So I don't know. But she's not the horny type. Tight-fisted one, you know.
Oh, dear.
For $1 and that.
I like being on my own, making my own meals and that. Here, everything's made for me, done for me. But it's probably the best thing as you get older. I don't have to go out. I can go week after week and never leave the building. It gets very boring. I find I get tired listening to the TV and looking out the window, and I'd rather be working. I did shorthand and typing and that for letters and stuff. I was a secretary. I enjoyed working, and I had good jobs. But my eyesight's no good anyway. Not now. I'm good at resting.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
That's okay. How are you doing, Mr. Daniels?
I'm going to get my speedometer fixed.
It was a real struggle to get Joe to agree to have anybody help him with his mobility, to get a mobility aid of any kind. And I came up with the idea of a scooter, and he would have nothing of it. But he did finally agree to the concept of a walker.
Lynn, that's right.
The porch has been the edge of his world for years. And for him to be able to break through that barrier, I think, is liberating. You know, he hasn't ventured out without help for years.
Do you want a jacket?
No, I'm okay.
You okay?
Yeah.
Get real slow.
It's a nice machine.
Okay, so let's try this.
There's something dragging on this left side here.
Well, keep your hands in here. Now, pull these brakes up and see it slows it down the same way?
Oh, there you have it.
That's right. So that's how you're going to go down
Well,
this
that's the one
time.
I went down with before.
No, but I had the back brakes on too. But we're just got these other brakes on.
I tell you that.
It takes a little bit of practice to get the equal amount of tension.
No, but it's pulling that side.
Which side is it pulling to?
The left side.
It's pulling to the left? Okay, I'll adjust that then when we get down,
I don't know
okay?
what the hell it's doing. Pardon my language, but it's what I learned many years ago. I traveled so much when I was younger. I've traveled millions of miles in my day. Where do I go now?
Where do you want to go? You want to walk a bit down downtown? Let's go. I don't think you're going to make it all that way.
These photographs have a potential, political message. And to me, that's a very powerful incentive to keep on shooting, to keep on showing these photographs, speaking to people about them, with them. And hopefully things will click. Many of you struggle to go and see your doctor. How many of you have a regular family physician? How many of you have ever had a house call from your family doctor? I find that profoundly disturbing. Helping me today is my son Adam, and though Adam is only 10 years old, Adam has been on more house calls than the vast majority of Canadian physicians. I have a great wish to do this work full time, and I'm prevented by the OHIP fee schedule because I'm not allowed to have more than 20% of my billings come from house calls. So I would like to ask the minister to please make it possible for those of us who want to take care of housebound seniors and help keep them out of nursing homes in a very cost-effective way, keep them from bouncing in and out of emergency departments. So I'd like to ask the minister if you could please undertake to help make that happen. Thank you. It's a tremendously underserviced area. Many doctors simply don't do house calls, and those who do, the focus of their attention is an office-based practice. And I find my office-based practice gets in the way of doing home care. And I think the only way to really do this and to really focus attention on the issue is to just do home care. And through many different ways, raise awareness. Raise awareness through photography, raise awareness through teaching, expose doctors in training, nurses in training, other health professionals in training. Take them on house call rounds and say, this is what's here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, I had my ups and downs like anybody else. I want quiet, to be quiet and left alone. I don't want a fuss made about me. I just don't want it. Because the friends, most of the friends that I've made are dead. And now I'm so old, I want to die here, yes. Yes. That's why I'm sticking to the place. So really and truly, it's just my wish and to die here, that's all.
Soon be 90, is still in pretty good shape. But everybody has to go. I never worry about it. What's there to be afraid of when your time comes? You just kick the bucket and that's it. Oh yeah, I don't give a shit for anything. Why should you? Well, look at it, you're on this earth for so long and that's it. Then what happens after that, nobody knows. I don't care what religion you are or anything. Nobody knows what's going to happen when you kick the bucket. Why worry about it if you don't know what's
And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Amen. Make sure that you're ready to go. When the time comes that you're ready to go, we'll make sure that you're ready for eternity. I expect I'll go to heaven. I'm hoping to, planning on it. And that'll make the future more convenient and helpful. I don't know whether we'll keep on living here or what we do, I don't know. But I'll find that out.